Hey guys, Stephanie Legacy here, reminding you to love your life and live your legacy. Thanks for joining. Today I wanted to talk about the differences between being childless and being child-free. I want to talk about the differences in terms of what society thinks and then also what my opinion is to see what your thoughts are, get a reaction, and let me know if this helps you at all. So some of you may or may not know, but my husband and I have dealt with infertility. And at this point, we have been married for almost 10 years. We don't have any kids. We haven't had any kids. We've never been pregnant, to the best of my knowledge. There's possibly one time we were, but either way, chances of us getting pregnant are very small and very slim. So when we talk about it and think about our future, we definitely think of ourselves as child-free people. Now, when I say that we have dealt with infertility and that we consider ourselves child-free, some of you may throw up your hands and say, no, that's childless. So let me explain the difference for those of you who are unaware. I found a couple different definitions, but child-free, generally speaking, is people who feel that they have chosen to not have children, versus childless is people who do not have kids because of choice or circumstance. Now, to me, those overlap somewhat in terms of they both impact choice. I did find actually Wikipedia stated, which I thought that was interesting, is they say child-free extends to encompass the children of others in addition to one's own children, and it distinguishes it further from the more usual term childless, which is traditionally used to express the idea of having no children, whether it's by choice or circumstance. Now, I would say most people that have chosen to not have children, it's a lot of choosing and CHs in there, but most people who do not have kids consider themselves child-free if they made that lifestyle choice. And they actually get pretty upset if you just find yourself without kids, whether it's by circumstance, like, I don't know, infertility, or you never met the right person, or you had a kid and they died. Lots of situations where you don't have living children. And I would argue people who, I know a few people who've had kids and they've unfortunately passed away, and I wouldn't even classify them as childless because they definitely consider them their child. My heart goes out to them. But people who are child-free do not think that anybody, for example, who's gone through infertility should be considered child-free, because at one point they wanted kids and it wasn't their choice. They couldn't have children. So I can see the argument, but I actually really take issue with somebody referring to an infertile person as childless. I think the main reason I take issue is because of the word less, right? You're not less of a human being or less of a person because you did not have children. If you have dealt with infertility, you already feel like you're less of a person or less of a woman, or at some point in time you have felt that way. And to be referred to as childless, I think can be very damaging. So I think if you don't have kids and you have infertility, you should feel free to call yourself child-free if you want. Additionally, depending on what happens, right? Some people, they end up running out of money. Some people get tired and it threatens their relationship and their marriage, and it threatens their financial situation. It threatens their sanity. And they choose at that point not to have kids. Or some people can't even agree on how to get started. Some people, they don't agree for religious reasons in terms of what should get prioritized from a fertility perspective. And so because they can't agree with their spouse or they can't come to some type of resolution, they have chosen not to pursue fertility treatment or to continue to pursue fertility treatment. So in my mind, those people at that point in time have chosen not to have children because they could still potentially adopt. There are other things that they might be able to do. And I'm probably speaking about a distinction with no difference, but I think in the child-free community or the childless community, people get really upset about this. And I'm sorry if you have infertility, and I'm sorry if you have infertility. And I'm sorry if my views don't line up with yours. But I think it's helpful to hear other people's views and to think about how other people process depending on where you are in the spectrum. I will say my emotions have run the course of time, and I am very happy with where we are right now. I will get into that more later. I will share our journey and how we got to where we are. But I would just encourage you, as you're thinking about people who have kids or don't have kids, first of all, why do we need to label them? Do we need to really say, oh, you're child-free, you're childless? They're a person without children. Plain and simple. That's what they are. Having that conversation in terms of, did you choose to have kids, or was this not by choice? That's always a tricky situation. And I would encourage you to not ask that and let people come to you and share that with you. Because you don't know where somebody is. You don't know if they're in the middle of a cycle. You don't know if they hate kids. You don't know what's going on. And it's something that can really stop a conversation. I cannot tell you the number of people who try to have conversations with me professionally and even amongst friends that ask me things related to kids. And depending on what my mood is that day, or especially back in the day when we were going through fertility stuff, it could really stop a conversation. So I've done enough rambling. I'm curious, for you, if you don't have kids, what do you prefer to be called? Child-free, childless, or a person without children? And if you've gone through infertility, what are your thoughts about how I view this? Do you agree that being childless or being called childless is negative and that it makes it seem like you're lacking and that you just kind of want the term to go away and you just want to be known as a person who doesn't have kids, but a person? All right. I hope that was helpful to somebody. If not, let me know what you think would be great to hear about. And until then, like and subscribe, and thanks for following along. Remember, my goal is to help you love your life and live your legacy. Have a great day, guys.